Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another video. Today, we'll just have a quick video. What's going to happen today? Who knows for real? But we are starting to fill these wicks. As I said yesterday, I was saying, all right, when you have a big wick, let me show it on different, actually Bitstamp, we're basically at the lows already, but other exchanges, Binance especially, had a very low wick. And as I said, these wicks usually get filled. So usually, I don't know, roughly 50% of the wick will get filled. We're in the process of doing that right now. I did take a short yesterday right here at this red line just because this is kind of global resistance here. So I took a short. I actually closed it right here at 111. I guess I should have left it open a little bit longer, but that's what's going on in terms of my leverage position. So that's what we got going on there. Now, if you look at some of the other exchanges, let's see, this is just the crypto market. This is Coinbase. Coinbase is attempting to refill the wick as well. So we could have, you know, a little bit lower of a high, sorry, a lower low. So if we go below this low, and if we make a lower low here, but a higher low on the market cipher B, that will be a great place to have an entry for a long. So if we come back down here, I am going to be looking to get a long. I did open very, very tiny longs where we're at right now, just very small ones, so that I can add down if we go down a little bit lower. I don't expect us to get any massive drops because that was kind of the most insane thing ever. So I have a very small long on DOT, NEO, Litecoin. I have a trade that will be opened on Ethereum right here at 2,800, and I have a very small long that I just opened right now about 110 on Bitcoin. So again, using very small positions and very low leverage in case it comes down a lot more, I can add to it and pick up a little bit of cash on the bounce. So that's what I'm expecting right now, and we do have just the pre-market coming down for the stocks, right? So I mentioned yesterday that, you know, this is very common for these tariff talks, and I'm expecting some news this week to kind of allow us to come back. So I mentioned it a while ago right here. You know, I mentioned it yesterday right here, and basically, you know, we're looking for some new things, some trade deals maybe this week, and then things will start pumping back. This is a good plan, and if you do go back and look at what's happened, this is what's happened over the last couple of days. So yeah, and happy birthday to Litecoin, by the way. 14 years of uninterrupted blockchain, the longest running blockchain. You know, I'm a huge fan of Litecoin, so I did pick up a lot of spot on the bounce. And apparently the US government just transferred a little bit of Bitcoin, so that's interesting. Maybe just moving it to new wallets, etc. Maybe that was just because people were saying, oh, you know, you guys have sold it or don't have it or etc. So maybe they're just saying, all right, we're going to move it around a little bit to kind of prove that we have it. So this is kind of my game plan. Just going to be a short video this morning. I think that we make maybe a marginally lower low and then start moving up once we get some other news. Now, of course, we're kind of just tied to the stock market. So we're kind of watching the stock market here. Futures have gone down today. We've kind of lost our whole pump from yesterday. We hit this moving average here and we're coming back down. So we'll see what happens in the stock market. And as I said, for the futures, we did, you know, basically create this gap, right, from here to here. Because in the pre-market, it got bought up. I don't know how this, so is there a pre-market futures? Because that's Sunday, so I don't really know how that worked, right? So if I go to like the 1 hour, for example, you can see we had a big gap up, which didn't really make sense to me. But now look, we're filling it, and I said we might fill it. So we're filling this gap here, and maybe we just go to right here, a small amount more down, and then we're gonna move back up. SPY is, you know, roughly at that same spot. So, you know, it looks like, you can see right here, here is the final day. It closed down here. So we do have like a gap of, you know, this right here that could get filled easily. So we could come back down to about 653 for SPY. We'll see what happens. Bitfarms, man, just blasting off. Doesn't even care about anything else dropping. Bitfarms is just running to new highs. I have pretty good positions on Bitfarms that I opened up at 86 cents, 90 cents, and $1.28. So I'm pretty stoked about that. IREN, a lot of these are still just doing very well. So Riot pulling back a little bit, CLSK pulling back a little bit, Bitmine Immersion Technologies not doing so hot, coming back, but it's still trading in this triangle, so everything's good there. So Yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll add a bit more positions in the stock market as well. And we're just going to go real easy on leverage. We're going to use very small positions compared to the size of our account, just so nothing bad can happen in case we continue somehow to go down. Let's just look at the liquidation heat map real quick, see what we got going on. It's pretty much all cleared, honestly. So I was just looking at it a little bit earlier, but there's really not much left. So it's hard to use this now after that liquidation event because, I mean, it's pretty much all gone, right? So everything's gone. I mean, you have to go to like, I don't even know, 6 months or something probably to see anything useful in here. Yeah, look at it. It's all cleared basically. So I mean, it would have to go down to like 93,000, which at that point, we're pretty much potentially in a bear market. So as I said before, as long as we, for Bitcoin, as long as we stay above weekly closes, above this 100,900, the bull market's still on. We can come back and retest this. And we did do it back here in April. That was the low, was right here. And we did, come back and test it here September of last year. So we can definitely retest this red moving average. Again, if you do want to use this indicator, you can just search DHYT, Dan Heilman YouTube, and pick up this 6 moving average, bull market support band, etc. And you can add this to your chart and kind of see, this is kind of the invalidation for me for the bull market. If we get below this and start closing weekly candles below this, then the bull market's over. So that's what we got going on. I'm still bullish long term for the next couple months, and then you'll see me flip bearish. I'll start getting rid of most of my spot. Also, if we start closing below this, I'll be probably selling all my spot and looking to buy back lower. So that's kind of the plan. That's the game plan. It's been like that for a while, and we'll see what happens. ETH maybe coming back to test the bull market support band. Again, Litecoin did not bounce as much as some of the others, which is a little depressing. Surprised about that, especially with, ETFs and stuff coming. It's interesting. Doge, a lot of the alts are not doing very well. I think if we do get ETF approvals for these, it would definitely start a little bit of a alt season, but we do need Bitcoin and Ethereum to play ball for that to happen properly, right? So we need Bitcoin to be back in new all-time highs, and we need Ethereum to be back in all-time highs, and then we can entertain the idea of, the full-fledged alt season that everyone's been hoping for. So Fartcoin getting destroyed again. So if you want to pick up some of that, feel free to do that. But I have an affiliate link below for Bitunix, amazing exchange. You can leverage trade, or you can just buy spot. I have an affiliate link below for Coinbase too, if you prefer them. But that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day, everyone. Did I miss anything? Oh, let's just look at USDT real quick, actually, before I finish the video. So this one, actually just a little bit ago, I was like, oh, wow, yeah, we're hitting right here on the resistance. I don't like that the Camel Finance indicator picked a daily cycle low for USDT, USDC. Not a big fan of that. USDT did come back down, do this. Again, we're filling wicks. So as these wicks get filled, this will come back up here. Again, I think maybe 50% of the wick gets filled. So, maybe something like right here. This would also put us into this resistance line, which I am now noticing is quite interesting. So that might be some resistance there for USDT dominance. So this is an inverse indicator for the crypto market. As this go up, crypto's usually going down. When this goes down, crypto's usually going up. So maybe we're going to come up, hit this, reject off it, and come back down. So anyways, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Have a great day, everyone. Use those affiliate links below if you want to. They help me out. Best way to support the channel. And have a great day. See you guys.